a little bit afraid because you hear the stories that can kill you, right? You can get killed. You can get killed in the border anytime, any second. You can be sold for organs. You can be grabbed by the cartels and recruit and take you. I'm a young man, healthy, but thanks God I was protected. I was born 1969, August 27. When I was 13, I heard the first time the voice that says, say you want to be the best doctor in the world. And now I understand, this wonderful guidance, this wonderful direction. As a Mexican, I learned to listen to God and to listen to my parents and to listen to tradition. So for me, it was a no-brainer, right? I understand it now very, very clearly. And so at 13, the voice comes and say you want to be the best doctor in the world, and my mother was there. At 21, the voice comes and says, you have to leave. So it's 1990, December 23rd. And the voice said, you have to leave right now. You have to go to United States. And I go to my mom and I say, Mom, I'm leaving. And she goes, where are you going? I'm going to America. But tomorrow is Christmas. I say, I know, but I have to go. So she called my dad and she saw my determination in my face. And I never challenged my mom when it comes to certain things. But that day, it wasn't about me challenging my mom. It was about me just listening to the voice. And so obviously she saw that now, going back in time. She saw my determination, when I say I want to do something, because I did many things before. I went to Guadalajara, I went to La Paz to buy stuff because I used to sell stuff. But I guess just how, because I always tell my kids, you have to listen to your mother, you have to listen to your parents, you have to listen to God. And so when do you not listen to, but at the same time you're not being defiant, and you're not challenging them, you're not being dishonest or disrespectful or unloving, but it's something you have to listen to, so it's a very, very important difference, because I don't disrespect my parents. And that's very important to me. So December 23rd, 1990, go tell my mom I'm leaving. She calls my dad, and my dad normally never comes. My dad never comes. My dad is your classic workaholic man, and is for him going to work at a certain time, coming back whenever he needs to come back. My dad never went to see us in school when we participated or stuff like that. He went to one of my judo competitions, but that was it. My mom did most of it. My mom did most of the supervision or the company or things like that. And so the reason why I'm saying this is because the level of intensity that I must projected at that time made my dad come, right? Made my dad come. It's very meaningful because that was the day. That was the day that I was going to America, and I knew I have to come to America because I grew up watching Last and Rin Tin Tin. So I thought that my dream was going to be in America, and I didn't have a place to go. I didn't know English. I didn't have papers, so practically I didn't know anything. I was just following this incredible guidance of the voice. And so I had some savings, and not a lot. It was just in pesos, In Mexico, you don't get paid by the hour, you get paid by the day, or by, what you think you should charge. And at that time, I was making money by grooming dogs, bathing them most than anything. And some kind of little training that I did. I had one very important client that she supported me for a long time. And that little savings helped me to buy the tickets, And back then, the bus, the brand was called Tres Estrellas, and I went to the bus station. It wasn't too far away from my home in Culiacan, and my dad gave me his life savings, $100, and somehow he had $100, and I grabbed them. I didn't hesitate it. I just felt that was the right thing to do. And I didn't take a backpack. I got boots, because I'm from the north of Mexico, so we wear boots, like cowboy boots, pants, just a regular shirt, and that was it. And so I put the $100 between my foot and my socks and inside the shoe. This is me, 21, never been in that part of Mexico. And I heard about crossing the border. Many people come, especially when we were at the ranch in Hispalino, people would say, oh, I went to El Norte, or vengo del Norte, come from the north, which is United States for us. And people will come with trucks, and and that would be like my idea of America, right? Is that would say you go to America, you make money, and then you come back with a truck, and you buy people's food, and you hire musicians so everybody can celebrate you. That was it. That's all I knew. So I'm at the bus station. It has a particular smell. It had a particular smell, the bus station. It was an old bus station. And so I go buy my ticket and to Tijuana. And back then, the buses would take 12 hours. 12 hours. A little bit more than 12 hours. I feel like I was there for like days, in the bus. And I remember the bus smelled really bad. I also remember not to have any fear. I had zero fear. I didn't even prepare myself with like lunch or like food or like fruits or anything. I just literally just left. I was not prepared in a smart way. And the drivers are quite reckless, because they just drive really fast and they sleep very little. I mean, now I understand them, poor guys, and they gotta go really fast so they can pick up more load, more people. But it was very dangerous. It was very dangerous because people can die. People can die. They were taking pills so they can stay awake. They would sleep under the bus, which I never understood why they sleep under the bus, because it's so loud. It's so loud under the bus, but they did, and that was, I mean, that's still obviously in my mind right now that I'm remembering. So I'm just by myself, 21 years old, and I remember when the bus driver said, we are arriving in Tijuana. I looked for a friend of mine that is there in Tijuana. His name is Hector. He works at this place. It's called Señor Frogs. And he works in a restaurant, so he graciously feeds me a nice tortilla soup. I remember very clear. And he let me sleep in his couch one night, because obviously I have to go and look for me to jump. So December 25th is Christmas at the border. My whole entire 2 weeks is about saving my $100, trying every single part of the border. You hear the beach, you can go through the beach. I tried it, didn't work. I tried look how the coyotes, with the group of people, to observe them. And I remember very clearly how they were upset because, I'm not paying them and I'm just tagging along. And that time, it was a heavy rain in Tijuana. And you see like how the current, the rain created this little river where people have to cross and stuff. And there was a lot of older people, pregnant people, where the current would take them, and the family of the people were like crying, and the coyote guy says, "Keep going," and I just felt this sense of heartless, these people didn't care, and I couldn't do anything about it either. So every time that I remember, it's like, should I try to help them? But I froze and I couldn't help. So you see this sad story, not story, but reality of the American dream, right? The American dream of coming to America and what it takes, the sacrifice and the danger behind, and well, that's just one of the things that happened to me. And another day, I managed to cross, but I didn't know where I was going. And they catch us, and they catch a lot of people, and that's when I got used to being caught. And what they do is they grab you and they put you in a detention area. I mean, people were very kind to me because they told me, do not say your name. And I don't have tattoos, so that helped also, because they can just right away, find out that you were the person that they got yesterday or the day before, and so I believe, the punishment will be stronger and stronger and stronger because you keep breaking the law over and over and over and over. And but I also remember one thing that I will forever be grateful of the immigration of United States is they will give you a Coke and a sandwich, a bologna sandwich. No mayonnaise, no nothing, just bologna, piece of bread, inside a little plastic bag, and a Coke. And that helped me a lot, right? Because that was my food. Like I said, I didn't have any money, and the only money that I had was my $100 that I wanted to save. So when I cross the border, I can have money so I can pay with dollars. Well, so 2 weeks at the border until one day. I see this hole in this wall and a lady in front selling chicles, gum, and coffee. It was later at night. Listen, I try right with the cars go through immigration. I try hiding behind. I try saying American citizen. I tried everything. Everything that at that moment I heard, I went and tried. Right? But I failed. I failed every single time. Until this day. This is the day where the hole is there. It is sweet. A sweet old lady selling gum and selling coffee. That was it. No bread, no nothing, just gum and coffee. So I see the hole. I said, well, I haven't tried this hole. I pass the lady, and I just make myself at home. And as soon as I go to the hole, the lady completely changes. And she say in Spanish, ¿Dónde vas, hijo de la chingada? Where, which in English translate to, where are you going, motherfucker? Right? And this, I was in shock because I never heard an older sweet lady being so mean, because she was extreme. But I had no idea she was in charge of the hole. So she was like the bouncer of this hole. The danger of the border is, you can only imagine, right? It's I don't even want to think about it anymore. Thanks God, nothing bad happened. The only thing bad is I slept on the floor. I didn't eat for a while. I saw mean people. I saw people getting hurt, people being taken away by the current of water. But that was it. That was it. Thanks God, nothing bad happened beyond that. And so I couldn't go because the lady, she was in charge. So I have to pay. So the thing is, I have to pay in order for me to go through it. So she was in charge. And or I paid her, or a coyote can come, and pays her. And it's a system. It's an incredible system, It's about money. It's nothing else. It's about money. They can care less if you have a dream. They can care less if you're a young person. They can care less about anything. Really, they can care less about life. They only care about money. But thanks God, that day, the guy that I eventually call an angel that you can see, the coyote. Coyote is a person that helps you cross the border. It's like the equivalent of a tour guy, that takes you to places later in life. I never heard about a tour guy until later in life. When I became a citizen of America and I had some money, and then I was able to go different parts of the world and took my kids, and we wanted to meet that part of the world. But that's the equivalent of what a coyote might represent, right? But this person dedicates themselves just to cross people illegally from one place to another for money. This is the beauty. This is the part that is magical. This is the part where it's just God, and it was meant to be. So a skinny guy comes and direct to me, and it says in Spanish, obviously, "¿Quieres cruzar la frontera? You want to cross the border?" I said, "Yeah." But I was a little bit, skeptical. I was a little bit like standoffish. I guess that's the proper word. And because I didn't trust him, I didn't trust him. The guy was, I grew up with this mentality that skinny people were sick, because my mom, that was my mom. Skinny people are sick, and then the Mexican culture back then, being skinny is a sickness. So it's just weird shit, weird stuff. And then the guy was dirty. The guy was dirty. So even though we come from low income, we were always clean. So that was another layer that my mom would always, tell me to be aware of this kind of people. And on top of that, he decided to smoke a joint at that time. So he's skinny, he's dirty, and he's smoking a joint right in front of me. But something inside of me, this is the magic. This is the thing that I will never want to lose. It says, he's the one. Then the guy said to me, I'll charge you $100. And that to me was like, how do you know I have $100? And listen, $100, 34 years ago, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. 34 years ago, they charge you a little bit more than $100. But the guy specifically asked for $100. And that was, to me, that was one of the, the enlightenment part of it, like the part that make me feel like, how did you know I have $100? Right? Because everything else about him would not make me trust him. But when he said $100, and then I felt the voice again. They say, he's the one. And like I said, and later on, I wrote about the angels that you can see. So it feels without a doubt that guy was an angel. And so I said, okay. He didn't ask me for the $100, okay? He didn't say, give it to me, nothing like that. And I wasn't gonna plan it to give it to him, right? I was just in shock and excited, a little bit afraid, because you hear the stories that can kill you, right? You can get killed, but you can get killed in the border anytime, any second. You can be sold for organs. You can be grabbed by the cartels and recruit and take you. I'm a young man, healthy, but thanks God I was protected. So here he comes. He asked me to follow him. I follow. I remember he purposely took me to this little pond that, like I said, it was raining. It was just heavy rain in Tijuana. So it was this little pond. And he asked me to go inside the water, and the water was all the way here, and to lower my head because the immigration will flash. And so if they flash against your eyes will reflect back, right? And he said, lower your face, lower your head down, and do not answer. Because another thing that the immigration do is they start saying, Ramon, Jose, just mention, Hispanics' names. And obviously I didn't know anybody, so I wasn't gonna answer anyway, but the guy did give me instructions about don't answer, don't say nothing, don't pay attention. Well, in the meantime, the guy said on a piece of, he didn't went in the water. And that was the part that was scary for me, That was the part that was that I feel afraid of dying, because I'm in the water all the way here, and why he's not inside the water with me, right? I guess that was like a leash in case that I want to run away or something. I don't know. I never questioned it, but I do remember right now that I'm telling you the story, what I went through, the emotion that I felt. But again, the faith that I have and that I had at that time was definitely helping me with the fear and the lack of trust. Rightfully so, though. So he knew when the immigration people will stop patrolling because they do the transfer of the guard. So he knew. It felt like we were there for hours, right? It felt we were there for hours. As soon as he knew that the patrol was no longer there, he knew by watching the lights and the radio that is on the waist of the border patrol, how they just moved. And she said, "Get up. Time to run." We run towards a place where they did mattress, like refurnished mattresses, right? They refurnished mattresses, and two guys were there outside. The guys say, "Have you seen the immigration?" Say, "No, they just passed. They just switch." So he just double check. Then, I mean, I'm wet, by the way. I'm wet. My boots are wet. I'm wet. Like when they say wet back, is wet. I am wet. But the adrenaline is at 1,000. So, and then we go behind this area where they're doing this factory, I guess, yeah, a warehouse factory thing. And then on the other side is the freeway. I'm pretty sure, by now people have seen signs, be careful, and you have a sign where families are crossing the freeway, right? Which is a very dangerous thing, but it's a sign. It's like dogs crossing. And this is like the first time I saw humans crossing and be careful. So I'm running against traffic. I need you to understand this. I'm running wet. My boots are full of water. And I'm with boots, cowboy boots. And somehow I feel like it's not a problem. And I'm running, and traffic is coming this way. You see, I never seen so many cars in my life. So many lines in the freeway. This is my first time meeting the freeway. So I'm looking at the freeway, 5 lines, and this full of cars. And you get scared. You can get hit by a car. And we're going against the traffic, right? We're going against the traffic. So traffic coming this way, we're going that way. And he waits for a moment. So the division of traffic this way, and then the wall, right? The wall is right here. So we're close to the wall, and the cars are like because it's like it's dangerous. It's dangerous. The people they're coming from Tijuana, and there's a lot of people at that time they can be drinking and get distracted and hit us. And that will be it. That will be it. And so, obviously, the guy knows the territory. And so, at one point, we cross. It's a gap where we have the seconds, so we can just go cross and go under a tunnel. This is the second time where I'm feeling afraid, because I think, well, this is the time that I'm going to die. Because now I'm going to tunnel. There's nobody there, just the tunnel, and I just feel that. I just feel that fear of I'm going to die. We finish, and at the end of the tunnel, he said, "Wait for me here. I'm going to go get you a taxi, so he can take you from here to downtown San Diego." And it's the gas station, Shell gas station. Yeah. Shell gas station. And I'm waiting. The guy goes and get a taxi, and he said, here, this guy's gonna take you to downtown San Diego. And I say, I don't have any more money. I don't have money. The coyote guy ended up paying $20 to the taxi driver so he can take me out. So the taxi driver took me to a place called Chula Vistas, because that's all $20 can provide, right? Apparently San Diego was a little bit farther away. So in the meantime, in my head, I'm in San Diego, but when I went in the taxi, the taxi driver, a Salvadorian guy, said, grab this magazine and put it in front of you, because it was full of immigration on the other side. On the other side, right? So the taxi driver was just putting gas, and now I'm wet, full of mud, and the guy asked me to put a magazine in front of my face so the immigration do not see me or I don't stare, right? We passed right by them so we can turn into the freeway. And as soon as we got into the freeway, I felt a big sense of relief. Huge sense of relief. And I closed my eyes. The guy dropped me off in Chula Vista, right by the metro. And the first thing I do is go and find a place where I was going to sleep, because it was a nighttime. So that's when I started living under a freeway. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and join me on my mission of better humans, better planet.